Whoa. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing some bits on the van. I can't go on any adventures at the minute. Unfortunately, Jet's back in hospital. Thanks for all the well wishes for Jet and everything. I appreciate that. Thanks for 200 subscribers as well. For anyone who has subscribed, if you haven't, feel free to do so. It's free. In this video, I'm going to be tackling suspension. Right, let me show you. The van is currently sitting at about 3.2 ton. It's nearly finished. There's all the bits are in the back now. It's nearly done. So I don't know if you could tell. Look how low it sits. There is nothing good about that. Nothing good about that. I recently tried to install the bump stops. For those of you that don't know, bump stops are the pieces of rubber that go between the chassis and the body. I'll show you that. I'll show you that as well. Bear with. Right, these questionable looking buggers here. These are bump stops. Now they're supposed to be, when you fit them to the van, there's supposed to be a gap above the bump stop, sort of like at least that, I should imagine. Well, the gap that the bump stops are supposed to go in is about that. So what I've done is I jumped online and I managed to find some new leaf springs, which I'm going to try and fit today. I just want to put a massive shout out to Jones Springs up in the Midlands. I'll put a link to their website. I dealt with a guy called Carl. He was very patient. It genuinely was really helpful. He told me what to look for, what I was supposed to check. All in all, a really nice guy. So thanks to Carl at Jones Springs for sorting those out. Free delivery as well. I'll put a link to in the description to where I bought those. But first I've got to jack the van up. I've got no idea what I'm doing. YouTube is all I've been able to use. So fingers crossed. Just to give you an idea of what it is I'm chatting about, that there is the gap that the bung's supposed to go in. As you can see, you're not getting a crash bung in there. And if you can look down the leaf spring, girt flat. Didn't meant to be like that. So yeah, let's have a go. Right, I've got it up on a massive block of wood. It's all chopped up at the front. And as you can see, it's just slightly off the floor. Boom. So this is the gap we're talking about. Yeah, let's have a play about. I've got to get the wheels off first. First and foremost, wheels. This is just me taking the wheel off. I imagine you've already seen that before, so I'll just skip to the next bit. As you can see there, that's supposed to be here like that. So that's supposed to be on there. Doing doing doing. There's no doing 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 in. Now, from what I understand on this bit, I need to take these U-bolts off, take these end bits here out. It should be as simple as that, but we'll see. Okay, let's have a go. One of the things that I noticed was that I was massively unprepared. If I'd known all the tools that I needed, I could have had them all on the floor right next to me and I wouldn't have had to keep getting up and down. Trust me, the next day I felt like I'd done a full body workout from getting up and down constantly. I was aching like a beast. Right, I haven't got any bits that are deep enough to go over here and undo that. All of these bits that I've got, try to get them on. Bolts too long, but I've got new ones of these, so I was going to cut them off, to be fair. I did have glasses on, I just took them off because that actually made me jump out my skin. It's obviously, it was under load, so it's just dropped. And shit myself, not gonna lie, jumped out my skin. Anyway, all good, nobody died. Let's have another go. It's carnage, not gonna lie. Just been cutting them off, but forgot to press record. But never mind, it is what it is. I've got to get around this side and cut these, but that should come off in a sec. But I'll join you back here when this is off. No, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's easier ways of getting them off. But they are off, so just got to get these end ones out and try and slide these big buggers out. These are articulated up this end. I don't know how that's going to work out with anything I need to do. Swinging it, do you know what I mean? Just having a go. I've got it suspended here. I've got it propped up here a minute because this was just dropping like crazy, as you can see. So I'll leave that on there. So I've got to try and get these off now, these end ones. I can't film and do both things, so this is going to be a bit of one of those videos, but hey, be worth it in the end. Okay. Let's just put you over here. How's that? So I got this one here. Should fit this side, and this one on this side. Nothing. Nothing. Bastard. I see taking a bit of the weight up might help. Take a bit of pressure off. Maybe that'll help. Bastard. It's a tough one. Oh, you twat. Oh, well, at least it's not stressful. Where's that shit? Let's try this out. Different f***ing size this end. Just to make it even easier, the pin this end is a different size to the pin this end. So let's go find some more bits. Right, I haven't filmed hardly any of this because, to be honest, I'm losing my patience with it. I've managed to get that out that end, but this bolt in here isn't moving for the love of money. So I thought, you know, I'll soak it in WD-40, leave it for a bit and come around to the other side. So after an hour prattling about on that side, I thought I'll probably have the same sort of trouble on this side. Not at all. Basically, that bolt's come out, absolutely no problem whatsoever. And so's that one. I don't know what to tell you. I might see if I can find another one of those bolts and just cut that bugger off in a minute, because it's starting to wind me up, if I'm being honest. Right. Really, apparently, now, it should slide out. Got a feeling taking both sides apart was probably a mistake, being as the whole of this is loose now. It is what it is, isn't it? We're here. Might as well stick around for it. I'm here for it now. It won't slide that way. What an absolute div. It will slide that way, I think. In that moment when you realise you're probably ballsed up, that moment, to be fair. There she goes. There she goes. Right. It's one out. Let's have a little comparison to the new. Ooh. Let's have a look. I've got a 2+1. Don't know what that means. I thought that just meant 3, but it doesn't. It means there is 2 springs plus a third as a sort of rebound thing, from what I can gather. New U-bolts, lucky because I cut the other ones. Here's what we're dealing with. So if it matches there, and then it sags this end, so I reckon it has given up a bit. I've made a hell of a mess here, not gonna lie. It just goes to show I'm not a mechanic, but at least I'm having a go, eh? I'm having a go. One can only imagine whether or not those plates are good. I don't know. Locating pin there. That's good. Let's have a go. Oh, you twat. Happy accident. Whoever chooses this for a job is a psychopath, in my opinion. It's easy. Easy. Don't know what all the fuss was about. Jack her back up. There's no part of this that's fun at all, but that bad boy is on. To note to self, winding these things on with a spanner when I could have just cut the buggers off. I don't know why I bothered. But that's one side on. Still this, my nemesis over here to do, but quite pleased with that. Yeah, I just did the bump stops while I was waiting in between, losing my temper with it all, if I'm being honest. But for the last 2.5 hours, I've been trying to get one asshole of a bolt out from in here. This one back there. And it's come off. I didn't want to cut it because I haven't got one to replace it with, but I tried. I'm gonna tell you, these sockets weren't deep enough they weren't deep enough. So basically the bit of thread, so what I ended up doing was cutting the piece of thread up closer towards the bolt so that I could get the rattle gun on it. Just held the rattle gun, shaking it going, and then it went. So I'm actually really pleased about that. This end's off already. This end is about to come out. Ah, there it is. This little Dickens. Ah, whoever does this for fun or for a job, I don't know if I take my hat off to you or slap you in the face and tell you you're crazy, but I gotta be honest, now that that's undone, I kind of got a second wind. So that should now pop down, out, and along, and over. It's just that easy. Oh, I don't know what the fuss was about. Why is it taking you since 7:30 this morning and it's now 2:20 in the afternoon? Oh, I don't know. Right, let's go and have a look at this. I'm actually quite pleased with myself. I was about to give up, to be honest, and put it all back together. Still got stuff I need to do today, so I almost gave up. Leaf spring bolts. I'm going to be cutting these ones down because on the first half on the other side, I was just winding it on like an absolute lunatic. There's like this much that you don't need. So I'm going to cut them down before I start winding them on. You can already tell that the deflection, I think that's the word, the bend, the bendy bit. I should probably be getting a better view of it than that, but to be honest, I want the camera over there out of the way because I don't want to smash that up as well. Okay. And what I noticed to do on the other side was to turn it over like that, and then slide her on in. Dickhead. Yep, you heard it right, folks. That is a dickhead. So I'm going to go that way, then that way, then that way, and then. Okay, right, and there it is. You've got like a little knob. Let's do that bit again. There's a little button part, a little stuck out protruding bit that locates it onto the axle. There's a hole, it locates onto that. On the other side, I ballsed up by not lining that up properly when I first started screwing it together. So I'm gonna U-bolt it down first this time, and then I'm gonna jack it up into place because it was a twat over there, if I'm honest. So he's in his location now. I'm just gonna go cut the bolts. I don't need them as long as they are. Right, there's about 6 foot of it that you don't need. Look at that. So I'm going to cut them off. I lost this piece of video of me putting it all back together. Don't ask me how, it's a very long story, but needless to say I don't have it. But everything's screwed back together after I cut the bolts a lot shorter. It all flew back together again. And yeah, happy days. Okay. Thanks for your patience, by the way. I know this has been a pretty poor video, but I'm not really the most instructional person as it is. I just needed to crack on. I've never done anything like it before. People I've spoken to who've done it have said, oh no, it's easy, yeah, it should only take you a couple hours. I think that's if everything unbolts and clips and comes apart easily. I don't know if you remember, but the clearance wasn't very much. There was hardly any. And the bump stops were, well, there was that much gap between the chassis and the axle, which obviously isn't good. So I'm going to let it down off the jack and we'll see where we are. Whoa. Wow. That's made an incredible amount of difference. That's unbelievable. Let's have a look where the bump stops are. Wow, look at that. I've even got clearance left for the bump stops. If you remember, the gap underneath the bump stop there, between the bump stop and the axle, was probably all the gap that I had in general. I'm not going to pretend I'm not smug as hell. That's great. Right, let's pack everything up and have a wash. And there you go. Sits a lot higher now. I've just been up the track, dropped some tools off back at the unit up there, and it rolls on the back now. So I'm probably going to have to uprate the shocks, but come on. Right, buzzing with that. I've got to have something to eat. Right, Christ knows what settings I've put on here now. So anyway, the van is now lifted up. I've driven it around a few times and I actually quite like it. It's a bit weird. It rolls a little bit on the back, but I think that's to be expected. Now I'm going to try and tackle the wheels. They look a bit, well, shit. I'm going to take them off, clean them up, sand them back and paint them. There's not going to be a lot of talking. I'm not going to try and talk you through it. I'm basically just going to paint the wheels. But I've got to take them off first, so yeah. Dust them up a bit, get a bit of grind on it. And use this here. Not 100% sure how well it's going to get in into all the groovy bits. With something this heavy and abrasive, I'm going to steer clear of the wheel weights because I don't want to wear any of it off. I'll just go at them in a bit with something a bit more delicate. Like I said, I'm not really going for a perfect finish. First off, I'm fully aware that I'm not wearing glasses. Don't worry about commenting. I'm stupid. What more can I say? Always wear your PPE, always wear your glasses. I remembered for the next set of wheels. Use this abrasive wheel. There were some parts that I couldn't get at with it, so I used this part on the end of my standard drill that managed to get in around the valve and all the other little bits and nooks and crannies that I couldn't get in with a bigger wheel. Once that was done, I had a good key for the primer to adhere to, so I moved on to that next. Actually, I forgot to press the record button, but yeah, priming them. This is never going to be a professional job, but they will look better, hopefully. When's enough? I thought I'd use one can for 2 wheels, but loads in there. Just give that a bit of time to dry a minute. I'll show you what I'm using. I was recommended this gear. You can see that Hammerite stone chip shield. It wasn't the cheapest. It's about 12 quid a tin. Apparently it's double hard and should last with a decent primer coat, apparently. I know it doesn't look like the tidiest job, but to be honest, this paint was quite forgiving, and I did it in layers. I sort of sprayed on a misty sort of coat to start with, moved on to the next wheel, sprayed a bit more onto that one, and it's alternated between the 2 wheels until I built up quite a good base coat, and then I left it for a bit, let that cure, and put on another few coats after that. But it's quite good paint, very forgiving, and if you get it right, you can get it looking a little bit sort of almost powder coated, so I was quite pleased with it. I think there comes a point where you've probably done enough. There's enough layers on there. We'll whack the wheel back on, but let's have a look. It looks a lot better. Happy with that. Let's have a look. I'll show you in a minute. I'll get them all on. I'll get it all done. You don't want to keep watching me do this crap, so I'll get the rest of them done and then get back to you then. If anything magic or tragic happens, I'll put the camera back on, but you don't need to watch me do all that again. I feel for you all. Thanks for your patience, and I'll see you in a sec. Bye. And there we go. Not bad. It's quite a good finish on them as well. And I've been driving on them. Thanks for watching this video. I know I'm not the best at the instructional videos and the van building stuff. They're not my most successful videos, but I had to do it, so I thought I might as well document it. I do have more things in the pipeline. I've got plenty of exploring to do through the autumn winter months that I'm going to be doing around the southwest, Cornwall especially. Jet's out of hospital in the next couple of days. She might be able to come with me on some of them, she might not, but either way we'll be doing something. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you. 200 subscribers is more than I was planning. I know that sounds really cliche, but it's genuinely true. I do this because I enjoy doing it, but I am grateful for everybody who has subscribed. It would be great if more people did. I'd appreciate that. But anyway, see you again pretty soon. There should be another video up. I'm going to try and keep them more consistent, but when things get back to normality in my personal life. And yeah, so appreciate every single one of you. Take care, much love, see you soon, bye.